Okay, I think we're live.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Spirit Release Academy. Little live chat with myself and Andy Porter on a Friday afternoon. We hope you are doing very, very well.
And I'll try not to kick the camera whilst we're moving about, because there's lots of text just out of screen that you can't see that we can kick.
Everything is just out of screen. Even Ruth is just out of screen.
Yes, Ruth is sat behind us, diligently working away, which is always good.
There she is, as if proof be needed. But yeah, you're very welcome. Come in and say hello. And if you're fairly new to the group, definitely come in and say hello. Be great for you to, be great for us to come and say hello to you and meet your acquaintance. That would be very cool. So we got comments up.
Comments is up, I think. Yeah, which is here. Yep.
There it is.
So they'll pop in there.
Excuse me. Great. So if you're there, come and say hello. Let us know you're here. Let us know you can hear us. We are getting back into the swing of things with the live chats. There's always so much going on behind the scenes. But hopefully we get into a stage where we can actually come back on and do more chats, which is something that we promised for a while. But like everything we do takes longer than we initially expect. So we're sort of sorry for that, but that is the way that it goes. Just because of the workload we have.
And also we're colour coordinated today. We've got about 5 or 6 different colour shirts, basically. And every week we turn up for these podcasts, and it's a bit of a joke that we have as to what colour shirts we wear. And of course, when we both walk in, we're always wearing the same colour shirts. So that's quite funny. So we do have a bit of a chuckle.
So that's always there. So Agata from Singapore, lovely to see you here as always. We always appreciate your support. Thank you very, very much. But just before we start, I'm just going to say very quickly at the beginning of this live that we are still getting messages and we are still getting people come to us for advice because they are joining groups where they are getting links to negative and low vibrational energy. We keep saying it, you have to use your own judgment. You take responsibility for yourself and no one else. If you choose to learn anything in the spiritual world from somebody that has limited experience, and I mean experience, I don't mean what they say, I mean their knowledge. Anybody can copy a course and repeat it. Actually being able to understand it and having the power and the energy to work that course and the experience that goes behind it is a very, very different matter. We get messages every week, every other day from people that are...
Today.
Sorry?
Even today.
Even today. From people that are going to these groups and they're realizing when it's too late. Simple thing with energy is magnetic. If you want a mix of people that have got a high vibration and a good light, that's what's going to come your way. If you want a mix of people with a lower vibration, that's what's going to come your way. Anybody that influences for likes, etc., doing courses in this, that, and the other, when they have no experience in doing it, please, it's your decision if you do this course or not. But just be aware. And of course, you can contact us when help is required.
Yeah, I think it's good to cover that, really. Just hi to Nature Mystic Life, which I can't remember who it is. I know I should remember. Natasha. And also to Suki, who's coming in August. So we're starting to plan August, really. We're looking forward to it. We're quite motivated. It's going to be a really high vibe week, intense week. It's going to be fun. We haven't run an in-person course since last year. So this one's going to be a really kind of high vibe, motivational week. So we're looking forward to spending time with you guys that are coming to that. And anyone that's interested in talking to us and joining, we've got so many ways now that you can contact us, really. It's one of the things that we heard quite a lot from lots of people was, how do we talk to you guys? How do we get a call? So on the website now, we've got book a call, which book a call with Jono. We've got a diary online. You can literally go on, pick a slot and join a Zoom call, have a chat for 15 minutes about the courses, the things that we're doing, and obviously the offerings that we have. We can talk about payment plans, all sorts of things. So we're kind of making that available. We're also about to have a WhatsApp number and contact. So again, we can talk to people using WhatsApp. We've got email. We've got a whole load of ways now that we're making ourselves very, very accessible. We kind of realize that lots of people struggle with the concept of how do they talk to us, how do they get hold of us, how can we cover things. We've also recently launched a concierge service for the in-person people. So if you're looking to fly over from anywhere in the world, we'll basically have someone, probably Ruth, actually meet you at the airport. She'll be stood there with a big sign, welcome to UK, SRA, that sort of thing. And we'll basically handhold you back to the hotel, get you checked in, we'll sort you out, and we'll get you to and from the venue, training venue, the castle here every day. So we're looking to take away as much hassle and stress really as we can from people, because we're aware that, you know, when you're flying around the world, you're flying for courses and things, the last thing you want is to be worried about the travel aspects and travel arrangements. So we will basically cover organising and sorting that out at our end for you completely. So it's just a case, from our perspective, just arrive in the UK and basically we'll make sure you're sorted until you disappear back to wherever you came from, basically.
So just to cover that a little bit more, the collection service, we can organise for you. We can get a car to come and get you, or we do have the option for one of us to come down and collect you. But that all depends on how many people are arriving at any one time, and that is outside of the course. But what you need to do is come in, have a chat with Ruth, who and us who work for the concierge, and we'll make your journey as smooth as possible, really, as much as we possibly can, whatever it is that you want to do. And that's whether it be organising events outside of our course, we can help you with that. If you want to go for special dinners or something, we can help you organise that as well. So lots of things happening, really. And of course, we have Maria Arnold, who's just come in and said hello, as well as Miriam. These are people, well, Maria has gone through her certification and doing extremely well as an elite practitioner in the work that we do. And we have Miriam coming through as well. So good morning to you both.
Yeah, so I think really there's a few things we want to talk about this week. One of them is we're trying to do lots of things behind the scenes. There's always a lot going on in the academy. Terry's giving us a whole list of things to do continually, which requires time and money generally and change. So recently we've been looking at launching a new podcast that we're basically calling Sovereign Souls.
And that is being dropped on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I know that the majority of people in here are American. When you wake up on Tuesday morning, if you look on Spotify, if you look on Apple, if you look on YouTube, our Sovereign Souls podcast will be live. It will be out there, and it's been something that we recorded a little while ago, but like everything, it takes a while to get it on the platforms. But this is Sovereign Souls. This is sponsored by the Academy, and the idea behind it is that we come in and introduce the work that we do, not as the Academy, but as in the practitioner style of work that we do, why it works, how it works, talking about mental health, anxiety, how we can work on people throughout the world. And that's in the first series. So the first series, we're sort of going through the basics. And then the second series is we've already done part of the recording for that. But this is where we're inviting guests on to come in and chat with us, really, aren't we?
Yeah, I think the idea was, again, just trying to kind of surface what we do, how we do things. We know that there's this big mental health problem going on across the world. And we also know that we have the resolution for a lot of people. So bringing people back to a state of sovereignty by removing and clearing negative attachments, energy, that kind of stuff. That's what we do. Our practitioners are elite, as Jono said. They're skilled at doing this. And we want to bring that focus into people's homes, really, so that we get to a point that when someone has a mental health crisis or problem, someone around them says, look, what about connecting to the Academy? Look on the practitioner page. Everyone that's on there is a fully certified practitioner. We call them elite practitioners because they're the best in the world and the best in the field in terms of what they do. So you can book a clearing with any of those people, basically, and know that you're in safe hands with people that have been through 100 hours plus of training, and they know what they're doing and they know how to help you. So this was the idea of the podcast, was to start to get to a point that we can have conversations with other people. And we had a call this morning with an organisation that was quite interested in what we're doing, how we're doing things, and they're looking to refer people to us, clients that have mental health problems, And again, we can signpost those clients to our practitioners, basically. So we're looking to build up this kind of concept behind the scenes, that this conversation becomes a normal household conversation rather than this kind of specialist field that we've been in for quite some time.
So very exciting, lots of things happening. And that spiritual crisis group, they're a wonderful group. They're volunteers that come in and help people that are struggling with anything that could be spiritual, but for those in the crisis frame of mind. So that will align perfectly for our practitioners. So really looking forward to getting on board with them and building up a partnership with them. And this is just the beginning. There's more organizations that we have in mind to connect to. We're just waiting for a few more things for the clogs to turn and align, and then we'll be away and running. But a lot of things happening. So once that podcast goes, that will release our work a little bit more, and then we can start doing and concentrating on other things as well. But Wednesday, we had a webinar. We had a very, very positive webinar. We had, I think it was just over 100 people register for that. And that was a chat specifically about how this works for therapists and practitioners who work in hypnosis. And that was a very good conversation. We had some really, really good qualified people on that webinar, some great conversations. So we're now following that up as well. So again, just so many things happening, isn't there, really?
Yeah, and I think it's a good point to say, really, John. A lot of people on the webinar, if you didn't really get round to seeing the webinar adverts and things, we've recorded the webinar. We can obviously contact and talk to you about things. And we're very aware that in this whole hypnosis field, what we're finding really is that people that have that discipline generally are very good aligned or to align with us as facilitators. So we have mediums, psychic and spiritual mediums, but the hypnosis area aligns really closely with the way that we work, because of course we're clearing people of negativity. And when people are sovereign and clear, they're in a perfect place to then have hypnosis and for that journey to kind of continue. So the way that we kind of see things really is that if you're a hypnosis practitioner, performing a clearing on your clients before you work with them and engage with them is a good thing for you to do from a safety perspective. It's a good thing for you to do from a client perspective too, really, because we're obviously clearing and removing energy. And we kind of see it that the way we work and the way that our practitioners work is almost a prerequisite to most holistic practices. Because if you're putting your hands on someone, if you're working with Reiki, if you're in a room with someone, if that person has negative attachments, negative things connected to them, they're going to try and connect to your energy and to you. And of course, that will disrupt yourself. And that then kind of moves into your family network and the people around you, because you end up with negative things around you, connected to you, causing chaos in your life. So we kind of see the work that we do as that kind of prerequisite service, really, to perform a clearing on a client and then move to your holistic practice.
And that's where the specialists come in for the aftercare, doing the things that we don't do in the academy, and binding the two together is going to be so important for real, not only sovereignty, which is something we'll look at, but going into the aftercare and the healing with specialist people is absolutely vital. But whereas Andy was talking about sort of the hypnosis practitioners and different therapists that are out there, psychotherapists, having people coming into their office, you know, it's not just that. We know that energy is absolutely everywhere. And just think about hairdressers, hairstylists. How often do you go and get your hair cut and you get that massage, you get the wash of the hair, and they're massaging around the crown chakra, massaging into your auric layers, into your auric fields. Not only are they in your field, but you're in theirs as well. And they're massaging your crown open. So the work that we do, it is about getting the knowledge out there. It's not about fear mongering. It is about getting the knowledge out there so that these people can actually learn about energy protection, keeping their hygiene or their spiritual hygiene very, very cleansed. And this is something that I'm talking about with the person that cuts my hair, but certainly their manager. She's very interested in it. And she was saying the other day that she might get me down there for a talk with her stylist, so that we can just discuss that a little bit more and get that energy protection in their business, which is a really, really good thing.
Really I might come to your hairdresser, mate, so I don't get a massage.
Didn't you?
No.
You're in the wrong hairdresser.
I just get a haircut.
Yeah, you're in the wrong hairdressers, mate.
Cool. I was going to say hi to Stephanie, Suki, Dave, and Kate. And Suki's just made a really good comment, actually, talking about children's services. Again, this is something that we kind of aligned with a little while back. We looked at TikTok and we looked at kind of creating some narratives, some videos and things to go on TikTok to talk about teenagers, children, people that are a bit younger, really, in terms of their spiritual health, learning to protect them, teaching, families, parents and things how to protect your children from a spiritual perspective. So there is a whole conversation around that again, we're on the cusp of doing. And I know that Suki's coming to the in-person course, so we'll definitely be talking to you about your experience, and we're aware that that is your kind of area of expertise as well, really. So I think that's a good point, mate, as well, that I know we keep saying it, but if you're listening to this and you're out there and you have expertise in different fields and you think you'd like to work with us, connect with us, we can kind of collaborate in different ways. You don't need to particularly come on one of our courses and do things, but we can collaborate, we can do a podcast, we can talk about things. So if you've got the appetite to kind of move things forward from a kind of mental health perspective, and I think as Jono said earlier, anxiety and depression, everyone seems to be suffering with these things at the moment. So anything we can do as a collective, really, to help people is obviously what we need to be doing. And we're more than happy to have those conversations if you want to.
Yeah, and that's it. We're open to any conversation. I think that's the thing. We're particularly beginning to find the time where we can reach out and go into different sectors and work with different people. One of the things that we've seen a really big benefit come through is that when our practitioners come through to certification, we have a different group for them to go into. And we have like a community where everyone talks, supports, works with each other. We have, in fact, that's where we have our emergency clearings. So anyone that comes into our group as a practitioner, and certainly as a student as well, we have an emergency group where we can do clearings for you quickly for free for yourself, for your immediate family. So the support is instantly there for you. However, the point I'm sort of coming to is that we have many, many, many different people from all different sectors coming into our academy now and into the community. And this is where we're seeing the work that started off with Andy and I now begin to spread out. We've got other people taking responsibility for other things. We've got PhD level practitioners coming in that are going to help us out with different papers and getting the proof together. It's a very, very exciting time because this is where it's going to lead us in the next 4 to 5 years. And also just wanted to say hello to Rhonda because she's coming saying good morning, good evening. And I was just about to say, what sort of time is it where you are? But, but yeah, it's gone midnight. So up with the witching hour.
Exactly. It's good that you're still awake, Rhonda, to be fair.
And in fact, if I'm right, I think, Rhonda, you're in Australia, which was going to be one of the little topics we were going to mention, because we have a few people coming to us from Australia who want to come in as a student. Because of the distance, they're very interested in doing the in-person, but we'll probably do online. So what we have said is that if we can get a minimum number of students together in Australia, then the academy will come to Australia and the academy will do in-person training with you there. So probably probably early next week, there will be a post going out on the academy page, and it will have a poll as to what sort of location, and if you'd be interested in joining us for an in-person course. So that will probably be around September, October next year in reality, by the time we get it gone. And let's face it, if one of us comes to Australia, we want to come in the summer because your winter is like our summer. So we want to come when it's nice weather. So that would be a great thing to have if we can do that. But of course, if the calling is there, then we'll jump on the plane and we'll come over down under and bring Terry's energy with us as well.
Yeah, I think it's quite a good point, actually. Again, lots of people are contacting us from different places all over the world. So we do have this worldwide kind of reach, really. So if you live in a country or somewhere and you think about running courses or you're able to host courses, if we can get minimum numbers together, we can talk about myself, John, or other people coming over on behalf of the academy to actually run courses in your country. So we do have the online courses. We know that they're quite popular. People are still asking us to go to places and do training. So what we're considering doing is creating a few forms online, and like John said, a poll really. If you want us to come somewhere, or you want the academy to train in somewhere that you run or an organisation that you're part of, then we can certainly, we're open to collaborate and have those conversations. So just reach out, let us know, and Ruth generally picks up everything behind the scenes. So she'll basically kind of surface that to ourselves, really.
Yeah. So, whatever country it is, we do need to know about locations. We do need to know about cities or just outside of cities where we can run these courses. And of course, the climate, as Rhonda says, we don't want to go over there and then die in the heat. We want to make sure that we get the timing right. So everything will take a little while to organise and get the logistics there. But if we have the calling to go, we'll be on the flight and we'll be coming over to see you. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think it's worth kind of mentioning. I mean, this is one of Terry's aspirations, really. When we first started this journey, the first time we started to talk, we talked about what Terry wanted, connected to Terry. He woke me up the other night at 5 o'clock with more asks of things he wanted us to do. So we're continually talking with him. And one of the things he saw basically was this vision that all around the world, consecutively, there would be courses running teaching practitioners, because in his words, there's a tsunami of negativity coming. We don't really know when that's coming, but we keep being told by everybody in spirit that we talk to, my guide Chen, John's guide Whitehawk, obviously Terry and other people keep telling us the messaging from spirit is there's something coming that's quite negative and we need to be ready. And being ready from our perspective means having elite practitioners that are ready and able to clear people. So we're kind of continually hearing this red light flashing to get people trained. And this was Terry's aspiration, was to have all of these courses running all over the world continually, not necessarily myself and Jono, but with SRA trained practitioners that are able to train and teach people. So we can kind of take the protocol we have, and we've got obviously all of our documentation. We've run multiple courses now, so we can cookie cutter the courses and just drop them into different localities with different trainers that are all obviously academy certified, basically. So that's kind of Terry's vision, how he sees the world. The SRA is kind of taking over the world from a spiritual perspective and being the elite organization in the world for this work. And I think we've already cemented ourselves in that space anyway, because there are no other organizations that do this and train people in the way that we do, and also hold the community behind the scenes. And I think it's quite an important conversation to have, really, is that when our practitioners come through and they're trained and they're certified, this is like a family behind the scenes. Everyone stays together, everyone's connected, people are talking to each other, and lots of people have made lifelong friends because we're in the same space, we're doing the same work. And it's a very niche area, because we always say you have to hear the call really to join us. So we know this isn't for everybody, and we don't really expect it to be for everyone, but for the small percentage that it is right for, that do hear the call and do feel as though they need to help people and obviously be able to stand up in front of negative energy and help and clear clients that are having some of these kind of very difficult spiritual experiences, then you're the people that obviously we're looking for, basically.
It's as simple as that. We don't sell the course. We don't let everybody join it. We do turn people away. It has to be right. It has to be right for them, and it has to be right for us. And this is why we have a consultation call. So if it is something that you're interested in and you fancy having a chat because you're very close or on the fence about joining one of our courses, and you've got a couple of questions, or there's something perhaps that you've heard that you want to get clarified and cleared or hear from the horse's mouth, just book that consultation call and we'll have a chat with you and we'll see how we can help you. But it's important to do that, because certainly since the webinar that we did a couple of nights ago, we've got a lot of consultation calls booked in and they're going really, really well. We're getting asked some really, really good questions, and it's helping people understand just that little bit better before they actually make a decision. So we will be doing more webinars. The one that we did on Wednesday evening was very, very successful, and there will be another one coming out very soon in just a couple of weeks or just a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I think that kind of covers this conversation quite well. Again, if you've got a specialist skill or a specialist area, or you feel drawn to do something whether you're into research or stats or data, or whether you're heading up an organization, or whether you are looking after people's mental health problems, or you're in children's services or care work, whatever you do that is, in this sort of sector, if you're looking for a space and a place to be acknowledged and a place to work from, we're looking now to start to create some small teams within SRA that can do all sorts of things. So we've kind of got to the point now that we've got enough people, enough boots on the ground really. Before it was 2 of us. Now we've got a lot more people. So we've actually got people that we can create small teams to start to look at different things. So if you've got an appetite and you feel like you're not kind of in your space, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and you want to join an academy that's growing so quickly, and we're here to kind of be the best basically in this sector, and obviously this is where we are. So we have a home for you, is what I'm trying to say, I guess, really.
Absolutely. So I will just mention the team to you. Obviously, we have the Celestial team. We have Dr. Terence Palmer, Chen, and Whitehawk as the guides that are on the Celestial side, the higher vibration looking down, telling us what to do. We also have Andy and myself. Andy and myself have over 20 years experience each in psychic surgery, trance mediumship, and specializing in clearings. With us, we have Natasha and we have Tara. Natasha and Tara collectively probably have around 12 years experience. And they also worked with Dr. Palmer as well as us. Outside of that, we have Ruth and we have Dave. When you collectively look at the team that we have in the academy, 40 to 58, we've got approaching 60 years experience in holistic healing, in spiritual connection, and in spiritual clearings, over 60 years of specialist work. I'll end this conversation with how we started it. We are contacted every other day from people that are experiencing negativity, from some that either don't know what they're talking about or they pretend to know what they're talking about. If you've got someone who says to you that I'm hearing this from my guides and my guides are saying this and they're not a medium, please keep your eyes open. Please watch your back. If you're going to do a course with somebody in psychic surgery who is not a psychic surgeon and has never done it, then you have to take responsibility yourself for joining that course. And whatever you come away with is what you're going to come away with. I'm not saying I'm the only psychic surgeon out there. There's many out there. But if you do want to learn psychic surgery, go to somebody who knows what they're doing. Go to somebody who knows and understands about trance. Go to somebody who understands about psychic protection, rather than someone that just reads a form and then repeats it. That's not teaching. That's not training. And you're not going to get anything out of that apart from perhaps a little trip on the way out when you realize what's happened. So we're here to help. If you have had a bad experience, we are open to that conversation. We do help people. And if you do need to contact us for anything, then please contact us by email, contact@spiritreleaseacademy.com, and we will help however we can.
Yeah, I think it's a really good way to frame the end of the conversation, mate, to be honest. So when we set SRA up, the whole point of SRA was supposed to be a safe place in the spiritual arena for people to come and know that you're dealing with credible people, not just myself and Jono, but everybody in SRA is a credible person, certified by us. They've been through 100 hours of training. So these are good people. And we kind of know that the spiritual arena is like the Wild West, I would say, really, whereby you've got some good people, some not so good people. You don't know who's good, who's bad. And one of our mission statements really from Terry was SRA has to be the safe place that people can get signposted to. The courses that we run, psychic protection, introduction to spirituality, and then our SRT courses are kind of world-leading courses on a world-leading platform. And again, when you come into SRA, what we want you to feel is safe, a safe place where people know what they're doing. And this is the whole point of what we're doing, basically. And we're not trying, we are going to get to a point, I guess, where the rest of the spiritual arena knows, and we'll see that SRA is exactly that. It's a training hub, not just for the courses that we run, but for the contact with the people and the practitioners that we have. I think it's fair to say that John and I are always humbled when we meet some of these people that come through the training, and they're, as you said, PhD level, doctorate people. These are very qualified, very experienced people with ethics and integrity, and that's what we're trying to to uphold within the academy is that we have the highest levels of integrity and we speak our truth, basically.
So, I mean, that's one of the things, actually, just going onto this, I don't want to harp onto it too much, but just going into this, one of the things that we did, because every kind of organization has a type of hierarchy, because you have to have someone who is a decision maker and someone who can take responsibility for the business and what we're doing. But our hierarchy is like a pyramid, upside down. So whereas normally the pyramid, the point would be at the top, and that's where you have perhaps us, Terry, Chen, Whitehawk, turn the pyramid upside down, we're at the bottom. So we're at the foundation. Above us, you have Natasha, Tara, Ruth, and Dave, and we have Julia, who works on our business side of things as well. And then above them, we have our practitioners. And this is how we see it. It's all about the practitioners. Everything we do is to make sure that they're the very, very best out there, the elite section of spiritual cleansers, the spirit-guided, remote spirit release practitioners that we have are just exceptional. And this is why the process is not always easy, but when you get the pin, the winged sword, it means something, and you know what you've done to achieve it. So this is really why it's important to go out when you're dealing with mental health, when you're dealing with anxiety, when you're dealing with the sorts of recipients of the work that we do. You have to be professional. You have to know exactly what you're talking about. You have to be humble, and you have to have knowledge, not just the fact that you've read or attended a course. So we will leave it there.
Yeah, perfect.
On that note,
I think we've covered everything for this week. Again, if you've got questions, reach out. We've got, obviously, book a call with Jono if you're interested in the training. We've got email. We're about to be releasing a WhatsApp phone number where you can talk to us on WhatsApp. So we've got lots of ways into us now to actually connect. We've also got an AI bot on the website that has a whole document behind it, so you can query the bot if we're not available because we're asleep, potentially, and you're awake. If you're out of phase with us, you can talk to our bot, ask when the courses are, ask what the prices are, ask about payment plans, that kind of stuff. So all of our information is being kind of rolled up into a kind of AI-sized bot document, really, that can be queried, because we realize that your time is important, same as ours. So we don't want to waste time talking to you about things that you can get information from our website, and obviously your time then becomes highly important to you, effectively.
So we look forward to hearing from you. We will be back on here talking about more of the subject matter that we do. We know it's something that people want to hear from, so it is something that we will do. Come in and talk about the different modules that we go through in a little bit more depth as well. So we should look forward to speaking with you again. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a good night, Wanda, and that all of you have a great weekend. Stay sovereign, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.